if you want to, down the road cover this, because it's almost like a lesson again, right? So just write down the date, right? So I'll just say a video posted. So after we're done today, I'm going to post this one. So if you ever go through your ACs when I return them, this one does have a video attached to it. Okay, so here we go. We've got 14 days worth of COVID cases. You know that all of a sudden, a lot of in statistics, perfect for COVID actually works well with statistics because we always dealt with numbers. So calculate the mean number of COVID cases. All I would ask you to do is add up all those numbers, and it's 4195 divided by 14, and you end up with 299.64 cases. I would give you 1 mark for showing me this work. If this is wrong, you go -1. You still get a mark for the answer today. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's another. So some of you may have rounded. Please don't round moving forward, because it's okay today. If you went 299 and then you went 300 or whatever, it's fine. But mean is a measurement, guys. It's a measurement. We're not saying that that's actually like 299.64 people a day. It's just a way to measure where we're at. So let's say 14 days go by and all of a sudden our cases go to 284.7. It's like, okay, it clearly has gone down, right? So it's something we use to measure. Okay, write down the data in ascending order. I don't really care if you went, well, I should, but right now, today, if you went from smallest to largest or largest to smallest, as long as it's arranged, we're good. Okay, so this would be, let me just quickly, and you'll catch me if I make a mistake, of course. 250, 300, 320, 350, 375, 375, 375. That's our mode, right? 400 and 750, right? So you should have noticed right away that you missed one. So that's, you're gonna mark for that. I'm just gonna say something. If you get even one wrong, go -1 right away. But then we won't take off again down here. Okay, then we'll just honor what you got. So determine the median and then tell me what that number means that you just found. This is an even set, right? We have 14. So we know that to calculate it, we're going to have to add 2 and divide it by, add 2 values and divide it by 2. And remember this one here, how do you get it? You go 14 divided by 2. That means that, right, this will be the 7th, and the one right next to it, above it, the 8th. So those 2 values will give you your median. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's these 2. So we add 300 and 320 divided by 2. That's 620 divided by 2, which is 310 cases. I would expect you moving forward to have units attached to it, right? So whatever we're talking about, millimeters, cases in this instance, whatever, there should be units attached to it. And what does this tell us? Something like this you should write. Half of the time, right? Half of the time there are fewer than 310 cases, and half of the time more than 310 cases. Or you can say half of the data indicates that there are fewer than 310 cases, and the other half indicates that there are more than 310 cases. Something that tells me that it's the middle and that half are below and half are above. I like you to connect it with the context though, like with the scenario. Connect it somehow, right? If this had been rain amounts, right? So half the time it rains less than this amount, half the time it rains more than this amount. Did you know that there's a drought right now, the Pembina Valley? They don't want you to make ice rinks, anything like that. I just heard it on the radio. Complete aside, nothing to do with this. But anyways, determine the mode. So, oh, can I just make sure one for getting this 310, and then 1 mark for explaining, right? That's where the 2 come from. Mode is 375. That's just it. Cases. It shows up 3 times, right? Create a line plot. So here you were just supposed to plot it. You could have used this, but I use the arrange. It's much easier. So you just go, this is 75, 100, 150, 175 is here, 200, 250, 300, 320 is right about there. No, sorry. 320 would be more here, right? And that's 350, 375, and there are 3 of those, right? This is something I would definitely be looking for, like 3 dots stacked. And then there's 400, and then way over here, 750. Okay. And of course, I won't take marks off today, but technically arrowheads and number of cases, like you label this graph, like what is it representing, number of cases. Label the MCTs. This I would, so I give you 1 mark for all the dots, and then 1 for the labeling. So this is your mode. Your mean, we calculated it up there. It's almost 300. So if you just make an arrow going to that general location, you just call that the mean. And the median is 310. 310 is right about there. So that would give you another mark. So the dots where they belong and labeling another mark. Are there any outliers? 750, right? Very obvious. I make it very obvious when you are doing this on a test, or it's going to be on the low end or on the high end, but it will be obvious. Okay. Yes. 750 cases. Varies significantly. You can say something like that. Varies. You don't have to have this part as part of your answer. If you just told me 750, I'm good. We are good. Predict what effect removing the outlier would have on the mean. Explain. Yeah. This outlier pulls the mean up, right? So I will say this, something like this. The upper outlier pulls up the mean, comma, therefore, removing it will lower the mean. Something like that. If you just said this, it will lower the mean, I would give you 1 mark already. If you say removing the outlier would lower the mean, 1 mark. If you want the 2 marks, I need a little bit more meat on that bone. How's that? And if you're like, I think I'm 1.5 today, then you get 1.5. I'm not going to argue with you today. It's not worth it. Got it? So this page is worth 11. So put a mark out of 11 already on here. Backslide. Oh, fill in the blank. Fun. I start with my median, put the 5 there, you get 1 mark. Then I go with my mode next. It's less than 5, so I'll put 2 4s there. And then I have 2 out of 3 marks already. Then I need to figure out what the mean has to be. I'm multiplying it by 5, so I need a sum of 30. This is what you need. Need this. Okay? So I just go, well, if this is 30, then I'm just going to take away what I already have. This is 8 and 5 is 13. That means, if you subtract it, that you need 17 yet. So you could do 7 and 10. You could do 8 and 9. Is there another option? I think this is it. Yeah. Did you do it the other way? Like, is it arranged? 10, 7.
Yeah, I have everything right.
Exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite. Then it's fine. If it's arranged like greatest to smallest, I'm fine. If it's not arranged, then you get 2 out of 3 if everything else is good. And the explanation for that is that if you have the median there, it has to be the middle of an arranged set. That's why. We're good? Fun stuff, eh? Okay, so Matt has scored the following on the 6 tests. What must he score in the upcoming test to achieve an average of 60%? So mean is given. Okay, so that means, remember, average is what? Average is simply taking the sum, so add up all your values and divide it by the number of values. That's really what mean is all about. So that's your formula. So I will go 60% is what I want. And let's do the adding here so we don't have to spend too much time. That's 381. I saw quite a few of you having that number there, so, which is good. So 381 plus the next test score that you're wondering about. And then you divide it by 7. That is key. Not 6, right? It's 7 because of the 7th. If you have this showing up, you get 1 out of 2 already. Because that to me is actually very important if you get it to this place. And remember, this is percentage. If you keep all percentage, it's okay to work with percentage. If you want to turn this into a decimal, then you need to do the same with this, and you'll still get it right. Okay, so this is where I undo what's happening around x. I multiply both sides by 7. This gives me 420. Yep. That's fine. The final answer is what matters most. Yeah. This cancels out, so it's 381 plus x. Take away 381, and x gives you, what is it again? 39%? That's where I need the percentage to show up for sure, the final answer. So you only, so Matt can literally fail the last test and still be okay, right? Still get that 60%. Sorry? Oh, okay. So I would give you 1 mark for the initial setup, like this, what I had here, and then another mark for the correct final answer. Yeah. Okay, one more time. Now you want a score of 70. It's still 381 plus that next score. You're still considering 7. So here you just go times 7, cancel that out. 381 plus x, 7 times 7 is 490. Take away 381. Oof, it's very crowded there, so I'm just going to do that here. 490 minus 381 is 109, right? Is it possible? Unless there's a bonus mark, but we don't go there in this unit. We don't assume that there will be a bonus. So you say it is possible to achieve an average of 60, right? But not an average of 70. And this is the kick, this is the important part. Since he needs to score above, what's the magic number here? Above 100%. So if he just said he can't get the second one because he needs more than 100%, I'm fine with that.
Well, because you said no, it's impossible to achieve both, because technically the question was asking for both of it. So,
just give yourself 0.5. So this backside is worth 8. 11 and 8, 19. Making sure your name and last name is on there. And I don't ask if there are any questions usually, but are there any questions? Clear? Sometimes it wasn't clear when you did it, and I hope that sometimes it's still not all that clear when I go over it, but I hope it helps you. That's my